Welcome back. It is now time for the Capital Report with Capital Beat OK's Pat McGuigan. Pat, thank you very much for coming in today. Now, one of the hot topics across Oklahoma of wind power turbines. It's been an issue for years, but things are actually intensifying now in 2 counties.
Yeah, here's the thing. The Oklahoma Wind Action Association, which has about 380 citizen members in 2 counties, Canadian and Kingfisher, are seeking a permanent injunction to force Apex Clean Energy to establish what the activists call reasonable setbacks in terms of neighboring properties that don't have wind turbine leases. That can be anywhere between 1.73 miles to 2 miles. And the company began construction of a new round of turbines in mid-May, and that was kind of a rebuff to the opponents. And I do want to explain that Senate Bill 808, which did pass this year, established those setbacks, but it was not passed with an emergency clause, so it won't go into effect for some time. This all comes in the context of overall legislation that's going to, over time, tighten up on the incentives for the wind industry and might be the beginning of tightening up on some other business incentives. So the context here is as important as the particulars. Now we'll see how this latest round of litigation goes. And when I say latest round, I mean there's been a lot of struggle back and forth over the issue. And of course the wind power energy has a lot of allies and a lot of stroke. So they presumably won't just roll over and give these folks what they want. But the power struggle, if you will, is intensifying.
All right, yeah, they're going to really look at those business incentives for sure. As far as the overview of the 2015 session, you've been pretty critical of it at times, but there are some supporters of the session saying they've done well with economic issues. Yeah,
John Tidwell of Americans for Prosperity, which is certainly a strongly conservative group, he gave them much higher marks than I did. He pointed to the fact that the legislature stuck with the nip and tuck, if you will, on the income tax. They passed a measure to try to push back a little bit on the Environmental Protection Agency, got into a little bit of the struggle with the governor over that, although she also wants to push back but do it administratively. There's a new law allowing Uber and Lyft to operate without a lot of hassles in Oklahoma. He pointed to that. Paycheck protection for state government workers in terms of extraction of union dues, charter school expansion, Medicaid controls, trying to tighten up a bit on the Medicaid financing picture. So overall, he gives them more positive remarks, and everything he pointed out in his commentary we put on Capital Beat OK is true. I just didn't give as much credit to the legislature as he did in this instance.
Right, real quick, you had some thoughts on South Carolina, the tragedy there out of Charleston.
Yeah, I think it's an illustration. I don't think this is a political observation. I think it's a human observation. I think it's a manifestation of the evil that lurks in the heart of men. I think the issue is racism and criminal activity, possibly drug abuse. A lot of other people want to make it other things. And I appreciated comments made by James Langford, Tim Scott, and our own George Young here in Oklahoma City in the last couple of days supporting the people there.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. That does it for Capital Report. For more on these topics and many more, just go to capitalbeatok.com. For Pat McGuigan, I'm Justin Doherty. We'll be right back.